Hi guys, welcome to Forge Right. It's a cool May morning here in southern Tasmania. Sun's up, but still not having a lot of effect. This morning I'm keen on getting into finishing a project that I started quite some time ago. If you've been watching the channel previously, you would have seen me make a set of tongs, fabricated tongs. This is those. They work alright, lightweight tongs, mild steel, rains, but in the process I built them with a nut and bolt because I didn't have a forge, and I said at the time that I was going to, once my forge was up and running, I would put a rivet into these tongs to make them solid, because over time, opening and closing, opening and closing, especially when they get hot, the nut tends to come loose. I didn't want to thread lock it or burr it over or anything, because I knew I was going to replace it with a rivet, which that time has come now that I have my forge. So what I intend on doing is creating a rivet setter that I can put onto my anvil in my hardy hole. So I will be using a car toe ball, putting a square shaft on the end instead of the round threaded bolt, and then drilling a hole in the top. It's really handy because the toe ball is rounded but has a very small, probably 15mm flat spot on top, but then it's round after that, so it should make a really good dome shaped for a rivet setter. So I'll swing the camera down and get into it.
I've got an old toe ball which I also got from the recovery shop in town here. Get most of my scrap steel, which is all I make things out of at this stage in my learning curve. What I've done, as you can see, is I've taken a piece of this tubing, which is 3mm steel tubing, and it's too big. You can see it's a quite a small threaded bolt that goes through to attach to your toe ball. It's only a small toe ball off a small sedan. And I pretty much cut two pieces out of it. These are the offcuts off the pieces that I cut out. So these are the leftover bits. So I've taken that bit out of there, and exactly the same on the other one, the other side of the corner. Clamped them onto the thread, and then welded down this side and welded down this side, trimmed it back a bit so that that is now a slightly smaller than 1 inch. I don't know if I've taken it out of the camera there, but slightly smaller than a 1 inch square that drops into my hardy hole. You can see that that drops into there. A little bit of a wobble, nice and easy to get out. So the intention with this is that I can use this little flat spot on the top here and drill a hole to make a rivet setter. Okay, just thought I'd show that. Okay, well, this is my toe ball. I have already put punched a hole in the top here. As you can see, there's the flat spot in the middle of the dome. I've already, as I say, punched a hole. Forgot to put the camera on and started drilling a pilot hole into here, so I've gone down a few millimeters. I'm going down to put it in about 30mm, so that should take the average rivet that I will be using. I'm going to make it, I'll be probably using standard
8mm rivets most of the time for tongs and things like that. So I'll make this 8.5mm just to give it a bit of play. Okay, let's get into that then. Just a bit of WD-40 to lube it up a bit. Sorry about the noise. You probably can't see on the video, but I do have a permanent marker line here on the 30mm mark, so you won't be able to see it, but I'll be able to see when to stop. Okay, there we have it, 30mm pilot hole. I'll change over drills and keep moving. There we go, 30mm deep, 8.5mm wide hole. Okay, so this rivet setter that I've just made, I've made it for 8mm round stock, so I can make my rivets out of a piece of standard 8mm bar. I've just found I don't have any 8mm bar, all I've got is 12, so I'm going to, just to make these tongs and get away with it until I get into the store and buy some, I'm going to use a bit of 12mm bar and grind it down. There we go. Off centre, for some reason it's gone out more that way than the other way. I shall have to figure out what I'm doing wrong there. As you can see, it is not quite even. It'll do the job, and when I set it into the tongs I'll push it one way more than the other, I suppose, but yes, I'd like to figure out what I'm doing wrong there. Okay, here we have it. Just put it on the wire wheel
cleaned it up a little bit, shortened it because these aren't very thick in the shaft here. It was a 30mm rivet, I've brought it down to a 25mm rivet. So now that can go through there, and they can go on there, and I think that will do a reasonably good job of holding that together. Now I probably need to make a tool to set that into, to then be able to hit that down. I don't want to do it on that because I'll wreck the top of that, so I might just have to do it on the anvil for now. It doesn't sit quite right though. Definitely need a tool, a monkey tool, to put that into there and then hit down. See what I can do sorting that out.